Very good evening and welcome to a packed Nittawela stadium here. Kandy taking on CR&FC in the ultimate battle which will decide this league. If Kandy win today, they will be unassailed in the final week of the season. And if CR&FC manage to pull off somewhat of an upset victory, then Havelocks will have something to play for when they visit next week. As you can see, already packing itself to the rafters, this Nittawela stadium. The near side terraces which you can't see are already heaving. And joining me in the commentary box today, two hometown lads, Dinal and Abid Jamil. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Shanaka. Good evening, Abid. Good evening to all our viewers. Perfect conditions here in Nittawela today. It's actually in the early 30s, 32 degrees Celsius, quite warm, and it actually drops down to about 14 in the night. So that's how it has been the last week or couple of weeks or so. There was a little bit of rain, but today it's a max temp of 30 with a wind speed of 11 kilometers per hour. Will not make much of a difference here at Nittawela, the wind, but of course everyone knows there is one side that every team coming here will love to attack.
After the events of last week, of course, it's fantastic to see that it's a completely cloudless sky. And the weather is, of course, not going to be too much of a factor in today's result. How can CR&FC take the heat in this Kandy Stadium? That's what all these fans gathered here today are waiting to see. Abid, how do you see Kandy taking on today?
Well, they'll have this behind their mind. They'll know that CR&FC just played the 40 minutes in that game against against Havelock Sports Club that was washed off at halftime. 20 points to 14 in that game. 16 points to 35. Army Sports Club beating the newbies Sri Lions. Kandy Sports Club with that mammoth win in Ratmalana against Air Force. 50 points to 17 and 25 points to 15. Police Sports Club winning that game against CH&FC.
In week 13, we have the results for you already. We have CH&FC who beat Army by 33 points to 7 and 67 points to 19. Police stamping their class against a hapless Navy outfit who've not had a win this entire season. Havelock Sports Club keeping the heat on Kandy. They've won with a bonus point, 40 points to 22. And of course, this all-important clash, a traditional fixture that has brought everyone to the grounds, Kandy versus CR. Well, this is what it looks like at the moment in the cup segment. Kandy are the team to be caught. They've got 8 bonus points. They'll be looking for a 9th today. Havelocks have got as many bonus points as they possibly can out of their games. And CR&FC will be looking to do a little upset today. But given the form lines, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Air Force SC bringing up the rear in the cup segment. They've done very well to get to 4th position. And they're trying to maintain that against some challenges of CH&FC and Police Sports Club. So what do they need to do, Dinuk? What does Havelocks need to try and keep the pressure on into the final week of the season?
I think everything depends on the result today. If CR can pull off an upset win here in Kandy, CR have the goods to do that. They have done that last year here at Nittawela. But today, this year's Kandy side is a totally different kettle of fish. They are hungry. We saw that from the preseason, Shanaka, the way they put in the work. And that's what you see, so much points this season, 50 plus points in about 7 games that they have scored. And every game they have played at Nittawela, they have reached close to 40 plus.
It really is a fortress for Kandy. And CR going into the first game of this league, hoping to do 3 in a row against Kandy, something they haven't achieved since God knows when. I really can't remember in my lifetime that happening. 32 points to 10 is how it finished at Longdon Place. Kandy scoring 5 tries, 2 converted and 1 penalty from Tharinda Ratwata, and CR&FC managing just 10 points. It was a stamp of class from a Kandy team who were a little bit embarrassed by CR&FC last week. And do you see the same continuing this time, Abid?
Well, I think you have to put it down to Kandy's defensive effort, isn't it? You had Heshan Jansam shooting up from absolutely nowhere to that person who was behind the pod of forwards. So I'm not too sure whether Coach Fazil Marija will go with the same plan today, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they go about it. The top point scorers list, no surprises there at all. Tharinda Ratwata has a bucket load of kicks that he had to kick courtesy of the tries that Kandy Sports Club have scored. 108 points to his name. Murshid Dore will feature in today's game as well with 73 points. CR&FC have Janit Chandimal on there with 70 points. Samuel Madhuwanta with 68. And Jayathu Rajaratna didn't score a try last week, or yesterday rather, so he has just 65 points to his name.
13 tries Jayathu Rajaratna has and manages to find himself onto the points leaderboard. Diruk, what are your thoughts on the try scorers list?
Yeah, he has been a class apart, Jayathu Rajaratna. He literally tore apart CR as well at Havelock Sports Club in their first league game. From there you can see Shamika Kushan with 11, Nirosh Pereira and Danushka Ranjan and Dinal Ekanayaka have been the standouts for Kandy, and good to see Danushka Ranjan back in that table, isn't it, Shanaka?
Well, from a Sri Lanka point of view, it's fantastic to see him back among the try scorers leaderboard. He's a fantastic player and has been for Sri Lanka and for Kandy for so long. I'm not sure whether Kandy fans, CR fans rather, will be too happy to see him in the current form that he is in, because he always manages to score tries against CR&FC as well. Managed to score a couple in the last game against them. So he will be the factor that everyone's going to be thinking of. Randy Silva will be up against a real threat in Danushka Ranjan. He's got that Sanat Jayasuriya-like aura about him, doesn't he, Dinuk? Even though he's a veteran, when he comes onto the field, everybody's worried about the ball going to him and what he's going to do with it. So it's really a fantastic boon for Kandy Sports Club that he's in, and of course 19 tries between him and Dinal Ekanayaka, the two outside backs combining. We'll be talking about much more when we come back after the commercial break.
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Kamuda macang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Lagin ma inna friendship bomai, e friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි.
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි, ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි. මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි, ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි. ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ, හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි.
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි Airtel සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
Kotumi, fantamai. Lagin ma inna friendship bomai, e friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි.
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි, ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි. මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි, ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි. ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ, හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි.
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි Airtel සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
Boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Macang ya muda macang, 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 macang ya muda macang. Kamuda macang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Lagin ma inna friendship bomai, e friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි.
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි, ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි. මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි, ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි. ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ, හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි.
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි Airtel සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
කොත්තුමි ෆන් තමයි.
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න. beat එක remake කරන්න නැතවෙන්න. හදවත බාවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න. fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක කොල්ලන්න. ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි fun තමයි.
Welcome to the IMC Over 50s World Cup 2025. Experience the unforgettable moments as teams from around the globe compete for glory. 14 nations, 1 champion. IMC Over 50s World Cup 2025. Live on the Papare TV, Dialog ViU App and ThePapare.com.
Matang ya muda matang, 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 kamuda matang, prima kottumi fun tamai.
Boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Kamuda matang, prima kottumi fun tamai.
ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි ෆන් තමයි.
Prima kottumi, oh my my. Nittawela manadam, made for life, and I'm happening. Real rusty trending, very go hot and spicy, that's a king. Prima kottumi, fun tamai.
Boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න. beat එක remake කරන්න නැතවෙන්න. හදවත බාවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න. fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක කොල්ලන්න. ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි fun තමයි.
Kamuda matang, prima kottumi fun tamai.
As the crowds cheer for number 7 Kandy, Nittawela Pandita, who runs out for what would be his 50th cap. This is the CR&FC team. Unchanged, Seruda Pereira, Venukoda, go to Tanuja Jabira, Senal Adhikaram and Ravin De Silva goes into number 5. Adisha Veeratunga, they've brought in the bulk of Umalka Gunaratna on the blind side flank, and Lashindu Karunathilaka makes a welcome second match in a row in the red shirts. Chaturanga Pereira has deputized at scrum half. He's done it well. Tenuka Naneyakkara along with Iranga Ariyapala and Randy Silva in midfield. Rinesh Silva and Aaron Carrera, the wingers, they'll have a tough defensive job today. And Zubair Dore has found a little bit of form as well in the last couple of games at fullback. On the replacements bench, Akram Srivikum, Veerabangsa Anthony, Gaishan, Amanet, Vandakula Surya and Muthunaika.
A quick run through the Kandy lineup. Malita Vijay Sundara, Dilshan Farid and Veera Singh. They have started this season, the entire season. Tilna Bandar and Chatura Soisa have been fantastic in the second rows. Tarindu Chaturanga, his tackles will be felt by the CR&FC players today. Nittawela Pandita and Dahan Vikramarchi has been very good at 8 as well. Heshan Jansen and the veteran Nigel Ratwate at 10. Tarinda and Danishka Ranjan ever threatening at 12 and 13. Then you have Dinal Ekanayaka, one of the in the top 5 try scorers. Kavindu Pereira, he's an exciting prospect as well, one-on-one. And Srinath Surya Bandara, the skipper, at 15. We have Mohammad Kolambarachi, Saniviratna Dange, Hettiarachi Premnath, Wajid Faumi, and Ishan in the Zaid Zumri, finishing the 21.
It's an embarrassment of riches for Kandy on the bench as well as Ratwata kicks off. And immediately the ball bouncing into the dead ball area, and it will be a scrum back for
What do you want?
CR&FC. Uncharacteristic mistake early doors from Nigel Ratwata.
Scrum make a done.
Yeah, something very similar happened last year when the game was played here. It was off the kickoff that CR scored. So Kandy will not want to give that advantage. It will be a center scrum, and CR will have a perfect opportunity to start.
CR&FC have traditionally had the edge over Kandy in the front 5, but that's not to be in this season. Terence Henry has done a fantastic job to bring this front 3 especially up to the mark.
Talking about the kickoff that happened last season, no Manika Ribeiro who scored that try, new backs, new center combination, Iranga Aryapala in the centers today, along with Randy Silva. We'll see how that plays out in this first scrum of the game.
It's a dream come true for Karuna Tilaka, first minute of the game, but he leaves it for Chaturanga Pereira. Not a great ball, and the pressure of that Kandy defense already telling. And Vavala Pandita in his 50th game, just making sure he gets in the face of the CR&FC attackers and reminds them where they are.
Then you had the Kandy crowd, the 16th man, also reminding CR&FC where they're playing this game. It's uncharacteristic knock forward. It was scrum off, trying to loop around the fly half there. Tenukanana Kara, Karuna Tilaka coming around, but just sticking the lazy hand and not going for the ball. Had he taken that, it would have been interesting because it would have been a mismatch out wide.
Second scrum in as many minutes. Heshan Jansen to feed Kandy's first scrum of the game. Ishan Kabekun wanting to have a word. Just having a chat to Milan Veerasinghe on the far side. A tight head for Kandy, and referee Abekun has moved to that side just to keep a close eye. And Jansen to feed.
Bind. Use it. Back. Advantage.
It's advantage coming for Kandy from the scrum. Dange creating a little bit of trouble, but Kandy losing some ground, but it won't matter because Bandara's through the gap. He's got support, doesn't need it. He's going all the way. What a wonderful run from the lock forward. It's Chatura Soisa. Absolutely no business scoring a try like that for a second row forward, but a 60-meter run, and the Kandy crowd goes wild.
Oh, brilliant stuff. The ball squirted out of that ruck. Chatura Soisa scoring a commercial bank try in the first 5 minutes of the game. Exactly what Kandy needed. Have a look at that huge scrum from Kandy. And then from there, as soon as Dinal Ekanayaka got that ball, he just told Rines Silva where he is, and so did the Kandy fans on this near corner. The ball squirted out. Dream come true for Chatura Soisa. Step past the first. Had Dan Vikramarachi with him, he's not going to do that when he can fend off the fullback and the last man of defense and dive over like that. Kandy score within the first 5 minutes.
Murshid Zubair won't be too happy with that defensive effort as Sarindra Ratwata knocks over what is a regulation kick for him. CR&FC just completely losing their shape in defense. They attacked too much. It was like an under-13 team playing tap rugger, not holding your line, and Chatura just exploited it.
Yeah, what was interesting was Sia just looked shocked. When Chatura Soisa started running. They didn't expect him to have a little bit of pace as well. He just put in the long limbs of him to push away Murshid Zubair, who went a little high, and then from there on there was no cover that was coming from the other side as well, and Chatura Soisa dotting it down for the first try.
Well, that will settle the nerves of this Kandy team, if there were any at all. And Nigel Ratpatha will be relieved that his kickoff hasn't cost them anything. Tenukanane Akkara
Back.
puts it down into the 22, and it's an easy exit for Nigel, taking his team up to the 10-meter mark on the opposite side.
Just spoke of the mistake that Nigel Ratpatha made, Shanaka, and he makes amends. Takes his team right into their zone. It's a line out for CR&FC, the first of the game.
Right, your mark. Mark.
Well, the set pieces will probably decide this match. And CR have come out second best in the two scrums that we've just had. Adisha Veeratunga will look to stamp his authority in the line out, but you can see that they've got into their heads as they go short for Omar Gunaratna to make a bust.
Back.
A little bit of a show and go that time from Veruna Kodagode.
Back.
Kandy's defense coming up in that umbrella fashion. And Chaturanga Pereira will put up the first box kick, but it's not a great one. Didn't go where it was expected to, and that ball came off. Don't know who. I'm not sure whether Kandy was supposed to retreat there. But referee Abekun saying play on, and Farid fights his way to the floor. Jansen, who's improved in leaps and bounds this season. Surya Bandara makes the pass to the danger man. They come across and make the tackle on Danushka Ranjan.
Play on.
Play on is the call. It was a smart bit of work for Murshid Dore that time.
Time off. Racking an idiot.
It'll be interesting to see that one.
Back. Penalty.
Was a penalty apparently. Referee Abekun changing his mind on that call. Offside on Dore is the call. It'd be nice to see that one again, of course.
Yeah, the call coming from the assistant referee on that occasion. Ravin Alexander is standing on the near side. And very interesting, Kandy not going for three. Is well within the range of Tarinder Ratpatha, but going to the corner. Here is that replay. So yeah, slowing the ball down in the ruck, and then touch and go. Was he behind the hindmost foot? Was the call?
I think the debate between Alexander and Abekun is whether Murshid Dore was part of the ruck or not. And he was just holding on with one palm. I don't think he was part of the ruck. We'll talk about that, of course, a little later. As Kandy set up their maul and get the drive going. Is it going to be their second try? Dilshan Farid is going for the line, manages to reach over, and Ravin Alexander puts the thumbs up. And it's the second one for Kandy. They won't need the advantage. They didn't need it for Chatura Soisa's try as well. And unless the red team can prevent this white juggernaut, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, the second commercial bank try comes for Kandy within the first 10 minutes of the game. You're talking about set piece, Shanaka, right off the line out that they get inside their 22, inside their green zone. Kandy giving CR a bit of their own medicine to say. Milan Veerasinghe coming off as the try scorer. Dream start for Kandy.
Time back on.
Early take from Chatura Soisa, right on the 5-meter line. And Farid was the man it was shunted back to. Thought it was Dilshan Farid who dotted down actually. Yes, it was. Number 2. And from that range, Dinuk, there's really no stopping this set of Kandy forwards.
Yeah, very heavy set of forwards, big front rows clearing their way in front. And then you have the likes of Tarinder Ratpatha just brushes the left upright. Yes, Shanak, if you see that setup, it was quick. And just before the CR defense got into positions, Kandy started moving forward. And then it was only that they could come from the side where the advantage also was played that you could prevent it. But by then it was done. There is an injury concern for Kandy Sports Club, looks like.
Sia will be a little aggrieved by that try because they will argue that it shouldn't have been a penalty there.
Time back on.
And Tenuka Nanayakkara has yet another kickoff to make. It's high and it's short of the 22 this time.
Back.
It's Chaturanga that gets smashed in the tackle.
Use it.
It's outside the 22, so Jansen can't kick this one out on the full.
Backwards. Play
Ravin De Silva gets it away to Tenuka Nanayakkara, but it's untidy. Sia haven't been able to make the ball stick. And Murshid Zubair now to Rinesh Silva, but he's well met by Dilushka Dange, or Dinal Ekanayak, I should say, on this side. First time they've got a little bit of possession. Changing direction is Dore. Tenuka Nanayakkara gets out of the grip of one. Ravin De Silva, quick hands for Lasindu Vishan. Here's Adisha Viratunga stepping back inside. He's got two men with him and loses the ball in contact. It was the right angle to take, but Adisha Viratunga desperately needed to hold on to that ball.
And also Kandy defending with 14 as Vavala Pandita is still nursing an injury. Off your screen where the try was scored. Kandy thought about sending in Wajid Fahmy. Looks like they now have made that replacement as Vavala Pandita is holding his knee. So Wajid Fahmy will slot in at 7.
Well, that's a big blow for Kandy, isn't it, Dinuk? Because Vavala Pandita and Wajid Fahmy, the beauty of having both these guys in the side is that you get to bring Wajid Fahmy on later on in the game and he can create absolute havoc at the breakdown. But if he's got to play 70 minutes today, his effectiveness is going to be less, and they're also going to lose that bulk of Vavala Pandita. So how will that affect Kandy's game plan today?
Yeah, lineouts is going to be key now. Jumping at 6, Vavala Pandita
Flank in.
has always been secured. Here is Kandy once again winning another scrum advantage. That has been their mantra this season. Probably the most scrum penalties won by a team this season, Kandy Sports Club.
It's been about a 20-year journey for the forwards coach for Kandy, Terence Henry, since he came in as a promising schoolboy with plenty of bulk on him to CR&FC, was mentored by Grant Dwyer, who I don't know if he's watching this match, but to see him now allowing this Kandy front row, this new look Kandy front row, young Kandy front row, to be able to do this, that's really saying something for a guy who's been through the mill, played for Sri Lanka, played under some very good coaches, and he's been able to transfer that knowledge. Lasindu Ishan manages to pickpocket that one at the back of the line out. Omalka Gunaratna, he knows only one way, but they'll be ready for him, as Dilshan Farid was there, try to hold him up. Venuda Kodagoda goes nice and low this time. Chaturanga, his pass is wayward, and Sia lose 20 meters. Tenuka Nanayakkara to Senra Pereira. Senra Pereira taken to ground. Chaturanga. Senal Adhikaram has to look for a ball runner. Rinesh cutting in field. Omalka runs straight into Dahan Vikramarachi there. Oh, it was Milan Veerasinghe. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Not rolling away is the call that time for Kandy, and Sia have strung a few phases together but lost about 15 meters.
Yeah, passing off the base has been a problem so far for CR&FC, not going to hand, going behind the second line of attack straight away, which is not what Tenuka Nanayakkara wants. He wants the ball to run through him so that the defense can be attracted. Another blow. Tarindu Chaturanga on the ground. Not good signs for Kandy Sports Club.
This will be a huge concern for the Kandy crowd. If Tarindu Chaturanga has been one of the mainstays and this defensive linchpin in the Kandy third row, and if they lose Wabala and they lose Tarindu Chaturanga, that's going to be problematic for them.
Yes, and referee says there is a blood injury, so they'll go back. They'll take them out, and probably Lakshita and Moby will try to do their magic to get him back on the park within the next 10 minutes or so.
Bleeding again. Bleeding again.
It's a 5-3 split on the Kandy bench. Might have to bring Alan Premnath is very much a front row forward, so might have to bring someone like Asiri Seneviratna or Dilushka Dange onto the flank just to make sure they don't lose a man in defense. So it'll be an interesting call for Fazil Marija on the bench. Nalan Premnath might be the man they'll go to. And Murshid Zubair will try to get Sia close to the Kandy 22 to attack from there for the first time.
What is interesting for me is after that phase of play, CR&FC started on their 50 meter, went back to their 40. They still won a penalty. They'll be lucky that they won their penalty, but it's the attacking pattern for me. It's very flat from CR&FC. From the base, from the first 5-8 and to the pod of forwards, it's absolutely flat, which is very easy for the Kandy defense to read. And this performance from CR&FC, if they continue to do this, CR&FC are going to have a tough time against a very good Kandy defense.
White send white send
Kodagoda looking for Adisha Veeratunga, but goes to Ravin De Silva. And a little bit of a set move. Iranga Aryapala, I should say, smashes straight into Nigel Ratpata, who makes the tackle. Omarka Gunaratna now hanging on for dear life.
Advantage
was Chatura Soisa. Here's a nice ball to Rinesh. Stepping back in field. Here's Tanuja Jayavira, but running into his opposite number and easily stopped by Dahan Vikramarachi.
penalty advantage. Now the offside.
Kandy's defense a little over-eager, so they've got the offside penalty. But wow, what a hit from Kavindu Pereira. Smashed into the tackle, and Aaron Correa was cut in half.
Back.
But they will come back for the penalty. So
Captain.
just a little bit
One penalty here.
too much line speed.
Captain. Metane Kattino.
And a little over-eager there. Couple of penalties. One not rolling away, one offside. And Kandies are slowly piling up a bit of injuries there. You can see Moby on the ground again.
Right, penalty.
Running repairs for Chatura Soisa. And also
Offside. Hurry.
Aaron Correa from on the far wing for Sia will take some time to stand up after that thundering hit by Kavindu Pereira. He's one of those players, isn't it, Shanaka, who doesn't look strong, but when he hits, you feel it.
He's really wiry, all muscle. Kavindu Pereira has such acceleration. Acceleration into the tackle as well. A heavily strapped right knee for Milan Veerasinghe. Coming back to your observation, Abid, about the attacking patterns of CR&FC, I think you've got to feel for Lacinta Di Costa, the backs coach of CR, because he lost Kavindu Di Costa, his own brother, earlier on in the season when a lot of the training and the setup had been around him. Murshid Zubair thumps that one through. He's been working on his kicking, has Dore, but they'll need a little bit more than penalties to get closer to this Kandy side, but it's good to always have the first points on the board.
Very true, Shanak. A string of penalties given from Kandy. CR&FC say enough is enough and won the 3 points and want to get on the score sheet. Still early stages in this game. Could open up at any moment.
And to add to that, Abid, there was also Manilka Ruberu who got injured, and that was a huge loss for them. Randy Silva has been carrying an injury for most of this season. So things have not looked great, and that's why CR are a little bit flat-footed as we join live action.
Tackle release. Back.
So high pass, dealt with well by Tanuka Nanayakkara, but there's no chasers and this could be dangerous. Surya Bandara calls for it, but it's well over his head. Now he has it. And Randy makes an important tackle, but bouncing back up like a man made of rubber is Srinath Surya Bandara. In about his 15th year or 17th year of club rugby, Dilshan Farid galloping through the gap. Wickramarachchi now cut down from behind by Rinesh Silva, his former teammate. And they end up winning the penalty with, I think it was Thilina Bandara who flew into that ruck and lost his feet.
Number 29.
Well, cynical from Kandy from the breakdown, isn't it? You have the ball with you, attacking penalties given. Not going to help them a bit too much, but
Captain.
the Kandy crowd are making themselves heard. Oh, and the hand goes into the pocket. And a yellow card is shown. Malitha Vijay Sundar is shown a yellow card. We're not too sure as to why he's shown the yellow card. We'll probably get to know in a bit, but that's going to be a big blow for Kandy Sports Club. Many forwards, couple of them injured. And now they lose their ace front row forward in Malitha Vijay Sundar as well, Shanaka.
Well, I think that was for not 10 infringement. CR took the quick tap after this penalty. And Malitha just couldn't get out of his way in time.
A big problem for Fazil Marija. He will run out of replacements very soon. And also his team will have to attack towards a bit of a uphill that you call here at Nittawela in the second half. So Kandy will have to bring in a front row in the next scrum.
Adish Veeratunga winning it at number 2. Ravin De Silva off to Omalka Gunaratne, but he loses the ball, regathers. But it went forward, says Ishan Kabekun. So Omalka Gunaratne is really lining up this Kandy midfield, but they haven't really let him do as much damage as he would like.
Well, he's a very strong ball carrier, and he's brought in into the team for a reason. It's for that set piece, but it's also for the busting runs that he makes and those meters that he gets his team. But the issue for CR&FC has been, now you have Lasitha.
Mark here.
You have.
Hurry up.
So we've seen a replacement. Dahan Wickramarachchi has had to sacrifice himself for 10 minutes. And we have Akil Mohammed who comes in for the front row replacement because Malitha Vijay Sundar is in the sin bin. So they do need to have their 3 front row forwards, which means that Wickramarachchi makes way. And this should be Christmas, really, for Lasan Luishan when they eventually get a scrum. But it's Kandy scrum at the moment. As driving back. And Heshan Jansen does a sensible thing, just puts the grubber in. And Murshid Zubair can only watch it go out. So that's good play, that's good game management, isn't it, Dinuk? Because he knows that he's a man down, he knows he's got a couple in the injury list as well, so he just makes sure that he's leading, just puts them in the right position. Let's play from here.
Yeah, Heshan Jansen is one of those players who have grown in the last year or so, Shanaka, after his presence in the Sri Lanka team. He has gained so much confidence in that 9 jersey and knows exactly what to do and which part of the field now.
No contest.
Ravin De Silva wins it. It's a little crooked, but no contest, so it doesn't matter. Chaturanga looks for his clearance kick, and it's charged down. But well in front of the last foot that time. Nobody told Ratwata and his defenders that the whistle had gone. So Kandy's line speed just a little too early. Watch that one here. Here's Omalka Gunaratne again standing in the tackle. And this is where, once again, it was Thilina Bandara, I think, who overshot, but it was Nigel Ratwata who made the charge down.
Change in the front row for Kandy. Akil Mohammed has come in, and you saw the change in the scrum, isn't it, Shanikov? That one that Heshan Jansen put the ball into the 22. You saw CR&FC taking a little bit of an upper hand, not too much, but just making their presence felt in the scrum after the change.
The way they started, we thought this game was going to go all Kandy's way. 12 points to 3 early on. But now with the injuries, it's going to affect their second half, We'll have to see how that's going to go as Adisha Viratunga wins this one on. That ball looked a little forward. Aryapala takes Lasinda Vishan to the ground, but good ruck by Akil Mohammed there. Counter ruck. Senra Pereira puts his head down, runs into Dilshan Farid. Chaturanga. It's not an accurate ball once again. The accuracy from the CR backs has not been good. Ratpatha now with a lovely little ball over the top, but no advantage that time, and they'll come back for the knock-on. So it's these combinations, gentlemen, the new combinations, new players in new positions. Chaturanga especially at number 9 after Vinuda Amaneth has been benched and Rushen Bandaranayake has been unavailable. And it's creating problems. You can see that untidy ball to the top there. Tenuka Nanayakara has to shovel it off. So just those few split-second moments.
Yes, absolutely. That is what causing CR's attacking patterns not very effective against this Kandy defense. But Shanak, like you said, CR are still in this game slowly with Kandy's injuries. If they can slot a couple of more penalties and stay in the fight, because the second half is not going to be easy. But if the sun stays up, then it's going to be an issue for CR because the high balls is not easy to catch here, especially in the second half.
Well, the moon is out as well over the Kandy Hills and just not able to keep his feet coming through, but it doesn't matter because Danushka Ranjan has stormed into the 22. Play on is the call. Omarka Gunaratne has somehow managed to win that ball off his former Sri Lanka teammate. And now they've got a little bit of space. Will they use it? Rene Silva. Lovely little covering work from Dinal Ekanayaka. I thought a thump down the field was an option there for Rene Silva. And somehow the confidence seems to have completely gone out of this CR&FC backline.
But that move from Kandy off that line out, off the scrum rather. Danushka Ranjan will go back home, look at that replay, and will ask himself why he didn't put that pass back in to the supporting player. I think it was Kavindu Pereira. But very good work from Omalka Gunaratne at the breakdown to win the ball back. And equally good work from Kandy to win the ball back again. So another chance, or the first chance for Tharinda Ratwata to get it, but that's Kavindu Pereira who went right through the gap. Now, that's where he should have given the pass to his centre partner. Tharinda Ratwata would have been screaming in his right ear. But he'll go back home and hear that many times and will regret that decision.
A very good option here by Kandy Sports Club. Take the 3 points, suck in a couple of minutes, settle the nerves. And Tharinda making sure he takes every minute, every second on the clock and gets the 3 points. 15 points to 3 puts them further in the scoreboard, but also killing much important minutes while the repair work is done for Tharindu Chaturanga and also for Milan Veerasinghe to come back. Chaturanga looks okay. He's in the shed.
Smart game management and about a 10-point turnaround, I would say there, Dinuk, because Kandy have got their 3 and CR&FC probably had the opportunity to go under the posts. They had a superb overlap.
1 minute
3 on 1. They managed to run into the one. Tenuka Nanayakara to restart. It's a lovely kick.
No.
Taken well by Chatra Soisa in the end.
Use it. Back, reds.
Jansen goes to his boot. That's a great kick. That's an absolutely fantastic kick and going into the 50. That's a 50-22. Aaron Carrera just didn't read the wind rather. And it was really a fantastically weighted kick by Heshan Jansen.
Well, the first 2 box kicks from the scrum halves were a bit wavered. No one put their name on it, but then that kick from Heshan Jansen. Have a look at that again. He had Kavindu Pereira chasing as well. And I think that chase from Kavindu Pereira also put the 2 catchers,
10 seconds more.
Aaron Correa and Tenuka Nanayakara, under a little bit of pressure. But the youngster feeling the pressure and feeling the heat here at Nittawela.
Be interested to see where Kamindu started that chase from, though. Lasindu Vishan has to deal with the bouncing ball. And Aryapala. Now CR&FC opting to run. Murshid Zubair manages to hold on to it. Aryapala with a nice little step.
Tackle, release.
Adhikaram takes it into midfield.
No hands.
Taken down by the collar.
Clear release.
There's no release from Tiruna Bandara that time, and Chaturanga Pereira opts to go quickly. Just can't release his arms that time, Murshid Zubair, but he manages to find Lasindu Vishan. Here's Randy Silva. Sia will be desperate for a try. Just managing to hold on to that ball by the skin of his teeth was Omalka Gunaratna. Again, the inaccurate passing. Venura Kodakode, that's a beautiful steal almost. Here's a little bit of space. Zubair cutting in field is Adisha Veeratunga. Can he find a support runner? Tenuka Nanayakkara, Tanuja Jayavira.
Penalty advantage.
And that was a big clash between Senura Pereira and Milan Veerasinghe. We'll come back to see exactly how good or bad that was for either player as Tenuka Nanayakkara runs himself into the corner.
No advantage.
And brilliantly done by Kandy's defense in the end there. It was Sarinder Ratwata over the ball. Sorry, it was Dinal Ekanayak over the ball, and that's the best passage of play so far from Sia.
Absolutely, Shanaka. I think CR&FC, when they play at pace, they look threatening, and when they move the ball wide to wide, they look threatening. So if they can continue this tempo with Kandy's bench
38 off.
being short, so it
Number
could be
38
a...
offside.
Oh, lucky there is no TMO.
That was a big clash, wasn't it?
So there you go, Shanaka. You have the two front rows for Kandy, Dahan, Milan, and also Tarindu Chaturanga coming back in after the blood bin, yellow card, and the substitution for the front row. So this will give somewhat confidence for the Kandy forwards back again. But CR&FC also now have an injury scare. We'll need to see who that is being treated.
Well, that was the period of the game, Dinuk, that CR&FC needed to make it count. The last 10 minutes with those two first choice third rowers back in the hut and with one front rower down as well. CR absolutely needed to get points on the board, at least in terms of a couple of penalties or at least one try. So they haven't been able to do that, and you have to say that Kandy have won that particular round.
Yes, and Kandy got 3 points during that phase of play as well to CR 0. Another change coming for Kandy Sports Club. Shahid Zumri comes in place of looks like Danushka Ranjan. Very interesting move early on by coach Fazil Marja. 30-minute mark. Not sure if it was planned injury or anything else. But Shahid Zumri has been thrown into the sea very early in the game.
That's a really interesting call because Danushka Ranjan didn't look too uncomfortable. He has a bit of a strapped hamstring. So unless that was creating a problem, but Milan Veerasinghe looks like he's going off as well. His head met the shoulder of Senura Pereira pretty hard. And we have Adisha Veeratunga on the floor as well. So some key injuries for both teams. They will really struggle if Adisha goes off. We'll see. Don't have the luxury of the bench options that Kandy did, but it looks like an ankle injury. And that's going to decimate the loose play as well as the line out. Here's the clash between Senura and Milan. Shoulder to the head there. And interesting call for Shahid Zumri to come on. I think they might have felt that the game is a little bit fast and loose, and one that Zumri might be able to grab with a moment of his magic, something that the kind of acceleration that Danushka Ranjan doesn't have. So they're going for the speed rather than the power of Ranjan.
But I think what happens now is with Adisha Veeratunga also limping back to his feet and Suiru Anthony also making his way into the field. Now this is going to turn into a game of how tactical the coaches are with their substitutes, how they use their players, what they tell the team during half-time as well. It's going to be very interesting to see what these teams come out with after the break. But I call a forwards-heavy game
Don't move.
because we've had so many changes as well as Dore lines it up.
Easy does it for Murshid Zubair that time. 15 points to 6, but you would argue that 3 points came about 10 minutes too late, as Kandy are now restored to their full complement, and having Dahan and Tarindu Chaturanga on the field at the same time is a huge lift for Kandy, who were really holding it together in the last few moments.
Yes, that'll give a lot of confidence also for the Kandy team. Soiru Anthony is not a bad man to bring in at this moment. Experience plus, had represented Kandy Sports Club, captain CR&FC for a league title, and not a bad time to come again. Inexperience from Tarindu Papare, and that's a try for Dinal Ekanayaka. Chaturanga Pereira has had a game to forget so far, and not a venue that he doesn't know. He played his all of his school rugby here, and the best part is Shanagi was not even seeing into the sun, totally misjudged that kick, and Dinal Ekanayaka scoring that comeback try for Kandy Sports Club, and little dent, a big little blow for CR&FC.
Those are referred to very accurately as coach killers, Abid, and you can see exactly why. It's a 7-point turnaround here with the kick to come, of course. But Dinal Ekanayaka just running onto that ball. CR&FC were playing volleyball with it, dribbling it. And nobody seemed to want to pick it up. And it's that lack of responsibility, the lack of onus, the lack of confidence that is giving rise to this gap on the scoreboard.
But as they say, teams are very, very vulnerable as soon as they score. Maybe it'd be a 3, it'd be a 5. Chaturanga Pereira just came running at it. Maybe should have just held back. But this reminds me of the first try that they scored here at Nittawela. Manika Ruberu went right through in the first minute in the game that they played here last year. And this time Dinal Ekanayaka takes the ball, runs away with it, off another mistake off a kickoff.
It's interesting to see that defensive pattern for Sia. There was absolutely nobody behind Chaturanga Pereira. Nobody snuck into that gap to cover.
Backwards.
You can see the wind has built up a bit, Dinuk. Feeling it here in our commentary box. Murshid Zubair puts the fend in, but well marshalled by Tarindu Ratwata. No release, not rolling away is the call.
In the back.
Soiru Anthony is on the pitch, so maybe the leadership issue will be fixed a little bit. Oh, Gamanu Chethi also in this CR&FC lineup.
Well, it's a ground that he knows like the back of his hand, isn't it? He's played for Kandy, won many league championships, switched clubs, switched jerseys into the red jersey, and won a championship for the red shirts as well. Murshid Zubair trying to stand Tarindu Ratwata, but you're not going to stand him. He's a class act. Was it not releasing? Was it not rolling away? Wajid Fahmy? A bit unclear, but nonetheless, Sia have the line out.
Not rolling away was the call, but I thought Ratwata got out of the way in time. Aryapala cutting back infield. Sia haven't really had a lot of good ball in this part of the pitch, as Omar Kunguratna now runs straight, which is something he hasn't done so far. He's running a little laterally. Backwards is the call, and not that time from Randy Silva. And Sia's midfield look like they're still doing their warm-ups on the basketball court.
There has been a problem, big problem for CR&FC, the midfield. They're missing Manilka Ruberu. Here is Omalka Gunaratna once again. Kandy are going through a clear tactic. They're going for the ball for Omalka Gunaratna. And Tenuka Nanayakara not at his best of his form. And another knock forward, giving an opportunity for Kandy to exit.
Bye. Set.
Managed to score 3 tries without really needing to break a sweat, Kandy. Haven't had to create anything. Jansen now to the blind side, and Ratwatta will use what little angle he has to take his team all the way up. Dore takes it, but doesn't have anyone to throw a quick throw to.
White.
Well, the kick had distance, but it went out in a touch way earlier than that, just outside the 22. That's why Dore didn't want to take that ball. But I disagree with you, gentlemen, about the midfield. I think it's the halfbacks that are not working too well for CR&FC. It's Tenuka Nanayakara and Chaturanga Pereira and their communication and where they put their forwards that has really been lacking here for CR&FC as the ball is stolen from Kandy off the line out.
Well, nothing really going right at the moment as Kavidu Pereira steps out, but throws it back in field to Ravin De Silva, who's bundled into touch. Always dangerous, even if he has half a yard of space, Kavidu.
A great player to beat one-on-one. He has done many a times in the 7th circuit. And 15s, of course, he has limited space to work with. Look at that. Look how he spots that half space. A little bit of mismatch. Again, Chaturanga there defending on the corner. Crooked throw.
What do you want?
Was contested that time, so CR will probably stake the scrum. And you're right, Abid, I do feel that there will be a number 9 replacement at half-time. They need Vinud Amaneth here to just turn the urgency up a little bit.
4 minutes more.
But you see, this
Mark, hurry up.
line-out as well was crooked, called crooked because Ravin De Silva contested it. But the line-out before that, it was a CR&FC throw-in. None of them wanted the ball. And I think CR&FC need to show the urgency when they're how many points down. Don't make me do the mathematics, but...
Bind. Set.
16. Abid, I was made to understand that you've just done your A-levels, so that doesn't bode well for the future if can't do those mathematics. Rinesh Silva dumped to the floor. And this is better for Momalka Gunaratna, running a nice short line. Chaturanga. And Kandy shooting up. Chaturanga, that was from Kandy. Short ball shoveled off to Randy, but it was a bit of a hospital pass. Here's Chaturanga Pereira, back in his hometown in a different jersey. Does well to pick that one up, Aryapala, and fight off 2 defenders.
Play on.
Still going.
Not held. Tackle, release.
He's been one of the better backs so far for CR. Lasindu Vishan hasn't had the ball in his hands too much, and Kamindu Pereira with that defensive stability once again. Soiru Anthony now. Venuda Kodagoda. Good tackle on him by Chatura Soisha, the try scorer, who set the cat among the pigeons early. Senal Adhikaram.
No, your hands.
Milan Veerasinghe getting over the ball, but he's overreached, so wasn't supporting his body weight.
The passage of play for CR&FC that didn't really have anything, but they've got a penalty out of it. 2 minutes to go till half-time. And Dore sets himself up to take the 3. Muthunayak has come onto the pitch. Aryapala had a very good run before that. That was the penalty that was given.
Akil Mohammed just reaching over the ball, steadying himself before he made a grab, so that's why that penalty was given. So young players watching, you can't stabilize yourself on all fours and then reach for the ball. You've got to support your weight on your feet. So is there a driving maul left in CR in this half, Dinuk?
You should say yes, 5 meters out. But it all depends on how this line out goes to hand. Soiru Anthony picks it up. First shove, Kandy wins. CR will hold and then go once again.
Back.
Referee plays advantage. Here comes CR&FC now. Now they're moving forward, marching forward inch by inch, very closer to the line. The blind side is open. Have they dotted it down? No, held up.
To the penalty advantage.
So there'll be a penalty coming back again for CR&FC, but there's another player
Number
out
2, side.
for CR&FC,
Number 2.
and that is Ravin De Silva.
That will be a huge blow as well. They've gone for a little bit of mobility and brought Ravin into the second row. No Navin Marasinghe in the CR23 today. You can see the entry from the side here. CR get the move on. You can see Akil Mohammed coming in from the side, making a nuisance of himself. And watch number 2, Dilshan Farid, as he goes in here and tries to snaffle the ball. CR will argue that might have been a penalty try or a yellow card.
Well, unfortunate for CR&FC, right on the brink of half-time. Now the forwards from CR&FC need to step up.
Another line out or a tap and go, Abid?
Well, I would go line out. With how the maul went in the previous one, I think they might go with the line out. But I think Omalka Gunaratne may have done a bit better to break from that when he was right next to the line, because Dilshan Farid came into it. He was supposed to be the man who was guarding the maul and guarding the maul from that open side. And as soon as he came into it,
Vote out.
maybe Omalka Gunaratne could have broken off that. But he was held illegally by Dilshan Farid.
Time back on. Side.
It looks like Ravin De Silva is off. He's cradling his shoulder in his own jersey, and that's a massive blow for CR. And Kavisha Gaeshan comes on. He started a few games already this season, so he won't be a stranger. But Ravin De Silva's experience and work rate is something CR will miss terribly.
Ball.
He's the man who takes the
Back.
ball at the middle of the line out there.
Back. Number 1.
Gaeshan. This time,
Advantage.
Kandy are doing a
Number 8.
little better. Holding it up, but they don't need to as CR&FC go over.
Number
Omalka Gunaratne has carried manfully all first half and finally gets the try that the forward pack thinks that they deserve. And coming back within single digits, hopefully, with the kick to come. And that should set up an interesting second half, gents.
Well, that's the reason why you have Omalka Gunaratne and Lasindu Karunatilaka in that forward pack of yours. Brings in a lot of weight, brings in a lot of strength as well. Very well set up maul from CR&FC. And all Nigel Ratwat and Tharinder Ratwat could do is just watch Omalka Gunaratne dot it over as CR&FC bring their total up to 11.
It'll be interesting to just watch that replay again. Even though Omalka Gunaratne scores, you can see a little glance exchanged by the two Ratwatas, the two cousins. They're not too worried as it goes over, and it is a 13 points to 22 game, so 9 points in it. The way this game started and some of the mistakes that CR&FC have made, they will count themselves quite lucky to be within 9 points of the opposition. Kandy walk into the hut. They will probably be a little bit more upset of the two teams given the way the first half went, Dinuk, and CR will be a little bit more relieved.
Yeah, especially they had to do a lot of chop and changes during that half. It was not something they would have been prepared for. Every time they didn't have a combination running for at least 10 minutes. They had to switch in the front row, they had to switch the third row. 22 points to 13, Kandy Sports Club leading at halftime against CR&FC.
That brings us to the end of an enthralling first half here at Nittawela grounds. Wherever you are watching, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the commercials.
vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්න නැටවෙන්න හදවත බාවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun තුරන්න කොතුමි kick එක වෙන්න prima කොතුමි fun තමයි
Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
ළඟින්ම ඉන්න friendship බොමයි ඒ friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි මේ හැම වෙලාවම perfect වෙන්නයි ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
prima කොතුමි fun තමයි ළඟින්ම ඉන්න friendship බොමයි ඒ friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි මේ හැම වෙලාවම perfect වෙන්නයි ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
Machan ya muda machan, 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 machan ya muda machan. Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
ළඟින්ම ඉන්න friendship බොමයි ඒ friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි මේ හැම වෙලාවම perfect වෙන්නයි ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
prima කොතුමි fun තමයි
Ah, boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
prima කොතුමි oh my my සුන්දර වෙලා මනරම් මේ full life එකම happening real rusty trending වෙන්න කෝ hot and spicy recipe prima කොතුමි fun තමයි
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Machan ya muda machan, 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 machan ya muda machan. Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Ah, boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
prima කොතුමි fun තමයි
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
prima කොතුමි oh my my සුන්දර වෙලා මනරම් මේ
I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Hot and spicy fun by Rugby Marakaranga. We take a remake Karanga Nittawela. Nittawela give me a fashion Karanga. Fun Turana Kotumi Kiki Kolena. Prima Kotumi Fun Tamai.
Kamuda Machang, prima kotumi, fun tamai.
Very good evening and welcome back to the Nittawela Rugby Stadium. It's still a fantastic atmosphere here at Nittawela as Kandy Sports Club have gone into the lead by 9 points in this all-important CR&FC versus Kandy clash, which will have a bearing at the top of the table. And I can tell you one place that they're going to be watching this with a lot of interest is at Havelock Park. First try coming along, Chatura Soisa, the Red Sea parting for him. He didn't even need to look for his support player as Murshid Zubair allows him in, and Chatura Soisa scores probably the longest try of his second row career.
Yes, Kandy started off that first half with 2 tries back to back, a maul try and a break by Chatura Soisa. And from there on, they struggled with injuries after injuries. This is where everything started.
Dilshad Farid on Rinesh Silva. There was only going to be one winner in the corner there. And Tarinder Ratwat has been on target with the boot. Hasn't missed a kick yet to make sure that he keeps the scoreboard ticking. And this was the comedy of errors really. Chaturanga missing that one. Nobody else really wanting it. And a little bit of basketball before Dinal Ekanayaka took the steal and went over for another 7-pointer. And in the dying stages with the last play of this first half, CR managing to get themselves within single digits, and that would have really lifted their spirits in the dressing room. Ratwat, you can see Nigel looking at Tarinder, and Tarinder just giving a little bit of a shake, and we said, don't worry about it, cousin, we'll sort this one out.
Could be plotting something out as the teams walk out. Kandy Sports Club the first to walk out as CR&FC follow. They have a mountain to climb. But that man on your screen, Tharindu Chaturanga, the other youngster that you see, just the boot of Shahid Zumri, Kavindu Pereira, Dan Vikramarachi, all of these big names will have to put their hand up in this second half. While walking in, I heard the vociferous Nittawela crowd saying, Panahai, Panahai. Doesn't seem like Kandy are going to go that far with how they've performed so far in the first half. A very good first half.
Referees today, Ishan Kabekun, Ravin Alexander and Nipun Amratunga. Ishanka has had plenty to do today and lots of injuries to manage as well. Danushka Ranjan going to the bench early, which was a talking point, a tactical substitution with Shahid Zumri coming on. Will he feature in the next half? So going right to left, Dinuk, what is the advantage of that on this pitch?
Yeah, there's a slight slope, but the disadvantage is if the sun is out, you're staring into the sun, and high balls are not going to be easy, Shanaka.
That was tidied up by Amarka Gunaratna. Looks like we might have lost power. Kavind Gaishan, who has come on in place of the injured Ravin Alexander. Tenukanane Ekkara takes it to the line. Chaturanga. Venura Koda spinning, runs into his opposite number. Dilshan Farid has been outstanding both in attack and defense today. Senal Adhikaram puts his head down. Wajid Fahmy makes the tackle. Here's
Play on.
The turnover from Kandy, and now they have a chance to counter-attack. Looking in behind was Sarinder Ratwatha, spotted the gap but just couldn't get enough distance on his grubber. But a little bit more of a hopeful start from CR.
I had Shai Zumri and Dinal on the outside. Immediately apologized because he had two trailing runners who he could have tried the passes to give, and now there was some creativity. This was the turnover or just after it. Big tackles coming up, the front rows going hard at each other.
Well, it was the three front rowers there, wasn't it? And Senura Pereira just not getting to the ruck in time. Nigel Ratwatha now, Dahan Wickramarachchi. Here's Ratwatha with a little bit of space, tucks the ball and takes it forward for about 10 meters. Now Jansen.
Release. Advantage. Not rolling away.
Here's Kandy, Dinal Ekanayaka, and it's a good on him by Rene Silva that time. But Kandy still playing under advantage. Tirina Bandara, Dahan Wickramarachchi not held. He can keep going.
Back to the penalty advantage.
Well, that doesn't look good. I think Ishan Kabekot might have to go back very quickly, and he does. Dahan Wickramarachchi might have got a little bit of a stinger there. You can see Tirina Bandara very concerned. Looks like he might have just lost consciousness for a moment.
It looked like he hit his head on the tackler's knee as he was just going down. And he just put his hand up and stayed still for a few seconds.
Not rolling away.
Dr. Pali checks. He says fine.
Bowling place chance.
They might have to do another check
Number 1.
on the hand.
Wait.
Yes, if you can see that again, we'll see how he went down. That's what caused us much concern here in the commentary box.
Okay.
Senura Pereira also worse for wear after that collision.
Huh? Now, time back on.
Not rolling away was the call, and if you look at that replay, here's Dinal Ekanayaka. He's put on his back by Rene Silva. Copybook technique. That's how you bring a big man down if you're a smaller man. Here's Dahan, goes in. I think he might have taken a knee to the head just before he went down. You can see he's lying motionless there. That is always difficult to watch.
Or Tirina Bandara hitting from the back. One of the two had to happen. Sarinder Ratwatha slots this in between the posts, gains another 3. Puts Kandy Sports Club 25 points to 13.
Just keeps piling on the points. Tarinder is well clear. Doesn't need to worry about Murshid Zubair because he's about 30 odd points behind him on the leaderboard, but just making sure that he's going to win this year's Golden Boot.
As now CR&FC kick things off.
Starting the Chaturanga. Gathers and takes it forward.
Last foot, last foot, last foot. No. Back. Last foot, last foot. Back, back.
Eshan Jansen opts to go from the base rather than pass it back to his captain. Former captain, I should say, Nigel Ratwatha, who was waiting in the pocket.
Right, mark.
We had a 40-minute first half that lasted a little over 50 minutes. We just had another stoppage in the phase before Ratwatha kicked it for Wickramarachchi's little concussion of sorts.
Right.
What do you make of how the stoppages would play a part in this game, Shanagar?
Well, it'll become a little cooler. And I'm not sure which team will be positively affected by that, Abid, but it's the tail end of the season, isn't it? These boys have gone through a pre-season, a long season, a couple of breaks as well. So the bodies are pretty much at the end of their tether as it's taken well by Kandy. Turned that one over and Tharinda Ratwatta puts the big kick in. And that's a thundering thump. Gets them all the way up to halfway.
So Ishanka Bekon tapping his microphone just to check whether the line out was in front of the 22, and yes, it was. As Ravin Alexander runs back, the set piece can't be outside the 22. Yes, Tharinda Ratwatta was inside the 22 when he got that ball and kicked it, but the set piece started outside of the 22, so we'll go right back to where that line out happened. And CR&FC in prime real estate, they need to make it count now.
So got it spot on. It was outside. It was carried back. And although there were two passes, there needs to be a breakdown inside the 22 for them to be able to kick it out. So will that be something that CR can exploit? Tenuka Nanayakkara, Iranga Ariyapala, I should say. Cuts back in field. He's been impressive with ball in hand. Here's Lasindu Ishan. Manages to get it away, and Randy Silva with the dummy, the show and go, but Surya Bandara all over him. Chaturanga.
Advantage, number 38.
Here's Tanuja Jayavira.
Again offside.
It's a bit of a gap opening up, but Chaturanga's service has not been restaurant standard.
Captain.
Well, the halves,
Captain.
the problem in the halves continuing for CR&FC, but you have to put that down to the good defense from Kandy. They may have been giving away a lot of penalties, but for their credit, CR&FC hasn't piled on the points.
Offside.
Dinuk, I'm surprised with this kind of line speed that Tenuka Nanayakkara hasn't just looked for a little bit of a chip over the top.
Back.
Yes, and also standing a little deeper in attack. His flat is very close to the ruck and easy to shut him down on that occasion. So Tenuka Nanayakkara needs to look at his options because he has good runners around him. He has Iranga Ariyapala, who has made a huge presence in this game. He has Randy Silva. And he has Murshid Dure and Chamod Mutanayaka if needed to join.
Change.
Tiluna Bandara is going off. And we've had a replacement coming in. And I think they might have noticed that Tiluna Bandara has been giving away a few too many penalties today.
CR&FC has also noted that the halves are not working. Vidura Amanet is warming up as they win it off the line out.
Back. Number four.
Kandy look like they've got a march on this one. They've stopped it once, but now they go again. Sia. Here's Venurako Dagoda. Can he get the ball over the line? He stops just short. Senura Pereira has another go. And the try is scored. Tanuja Jayavira, and it's the second one for Umalka Gunaratne. Just pats Tharinda Ratwatta on the head and says, you've got all the talent, but you're not stopping me from there. It's a commercial bank try for Umalka Gunaratne, his second.
It's getting closer and closer this game now. And every time CR&FC have gone into that 5-meter mark, they have done very well with the ball and also a couple of pick and goes this time. So probably they are finding the formula here. Play fast open rugby from their 40 to the 22. Try to milk a penalty, go to the corner and score. As Vidura Amanet is warming up as well, had a long chat with coach Dushant Liuke before being asked to come out and stretch himself. Kick is good, 18 points to 25. It comes to a now converted try. Within striking distance, CR&FC, and they're in the right part of the field as well.
Metsalia Kumara walking into the ground, and he was hopeful that his traditional rival CR&FC would do the Colombo club a favour. It's a 5-point game, and we never saw this coming 50 minutes ago.
The CR&FC have turned up in this second half. They know what's working for them. They know that the forwards are where they should go with the backs. Yes, they have the ranks of Randy Silva, Rines Silva, Iranga Aryapal, who has been magnificent today with his carries. But the line has been a bit out of sorts. They've resorted to the forwards as Ratwata kicks us off.
Well, that was a bit of acrobatics. CR not able to hold the kickoff, and Hechan Dinal Ekanayaka does well to lay it back. Here's the replacement.
Back.
Malita Vijayasundara, in fact, it was.
Roll away.
Good tackle from
Roll away.
Tanuja Jayavira there. Needs to get out of the way.
Hey, no.
Ratpatha goes high, goes hard, but that wind has really picked up, and now this is a dangerous bounce of the ball. And if there's a 50-50 call on this near side, there's no way it's not going to the home team.
Very interesting choice here by Nigel. He didn't have his backs next to him, so he just went high and up and under towards the 22. But he just came back, which means the wind has picked up and it is in favor of CR&FC.
There's always a value you put on the wind, Dinuk, when you go to the toss. You tend to understand if the conditions will play a part, how much of a lead you need at half time before you change sides.
Roll away, no hands.
So CR will be happy.
Play on.
Play on is the call. Players all looking at the referee and having a little bit of a debate.
Hey.
Taken nicely that time by Correa, and it's quick ball. Tenuka thumping it deep for Surya Bandara with one of his rare touches in this game. He hasn't had a lot to do, Suri. And Murshid Zubair now. Tackled by Shahid Zumri.
Back.
Shenal Adhikaram opts to hold on to it sensibly that time. Senator Pereira to Omarka Gunaratna. Stands strongly in the tackle. One Isipatana, number 8, tries to bring down another. That's a lovely flat pass to Lasinda Vishan, and Parinder Ratwata has been pinged for a high shot on Lasindu.
Number 12.
So momentum seems to have shifted, and the smiles have come back onto the face of the CR&FC team. Just so interesting to see how a couple of minutes can completely change momentum.
And also the wind factor. Tenuka Nanayakara now realizing that there is the wind that is behind him, and he started kicking. You'll see a lot of kicks now in that 50-meter channel, 40-meter channel for CR. They'll go to the corner, win a penalty and maul. Nigel Ratwata just exposing that wind factor by trying to put an up and under.
Time off. Now,
Abid, I'm sure you've trained at this ground.
Number 23.
But it's a bit of a vortex, isn't it? Because at ground level, you don't really feel the wind, but it certainly is doing what it's doing just at pavilion level and a little over it.
Dinuk, we're talking about Ratwata exposing that wind factor, but I think Tenuka Nanayakara and Saturanga Pereira learnt it the hard way as they throw it into the line out and it's crooked. Kandy have the option and they'll definitely take the scrum, taking into account the wind.
Crucial miss, no Adisha Veeratunga at number 2. So the line out really has suffered. Venunath Kodagoda has been decent despite that.
Outside.
Soiru Anthony not really the same force he used to be in the line out as he was when he was playing in the white jersey.
Amanat has come onto the field.
Outside.
You can see at the bottom of your screen there.
Bye.
Played in the shadow of Coventry Costa
Set.
in the previous
Steady.
season. As Jansen feeds it in.
Flankers.
This is inside the 22 and it's a good scrum by CR. Bit of a statement scrum. And Ratwata under pressure but keeps it nice and low. And manages to find a brilliant touch. In fact, he might even have found his own ball. Did Rinesh touch that one?
Arya touch una ni. Kaageda ball. Hari Arya ke touch una.
Yes, it is Kandy ball. So Rinesh Silva chased that one back. And made a bit of a hash of it. But just understanding technique, isn't it? How to kick that one fast and low, end over end.
Reds, move, Reds.
I saw that even Srinath Surya Bandara, when he kicked back, it was flat. It was that level that we were talking about where the wind actually comes into play. Just below that is where the kicks have been made.
Hey, number one, Elite, number one. Reds, number one.
Well, that's home advantage for you.
No, it's okay.
Dilshan Farid has taken a well-earned breather. Oh dear, oh dear. How costly is this going to be?
Okay.
Clear instructions
Captain.
from Ravin Alexander.
Captain, high tackle.
Senra Pereira is a tall lad, but he's got to keep his tackles a lot lower than that. And creates another problem for coach Dushant Luke to solve.
Fourth out.
Now that makes it even a bit more interesting. Kandy up for the line out. They're a try away from securing the bonus point. And the televisions on Havelock Park that are switched on at Havelock Park will be praying that they don't score and don't have a bonus point as they come down next week. If Kandy get a bonus point here, that is curtains, and that's the season and the league for Kandy as they win it off the line out.
Well, that line out was certainly crooked, but I was worried about the previous one where the penalty was conceded. It was contested. Here's Wajid Fawmi.
Alaka contest kare nahi arga. Feet again.
Kandy will just bust away CR's forward pack down their biggest man. They have the advantage. Akil Mohammed now drives. Vikramarachi. And now they go over. Yes, it is a try. And CR have been given a dose of their own medicine. And it's a new man on the park. Kenula Hettiarachi, the schoolboy from Isipatana, who's been headhunted here to Nittawela and showing exactly why.
Well, Commercial Bank try number 4, securing the bonus point. Kandy Sports Club. They take them now 2 scores away from CR&FC. And that really does go to show as to how costly a yellow card could be. It could be in the forwards, it could be in the backs. But in this occasion, it was Senra Pereira, the biggest man on the park for CR&FC. Couple of carries and just dived over, did Kenula Hettiarachi in his debut season in Kandy colours. Shifting districts, shifting provinces, and getting over for Kandy. Ratwata's kick is a beauty. 32-20 now. 12 points away, 12 points buffer between the two teams. As now we go into a very interesting final 20 minutes, Shanagar.
And the heads at Havelock Park will certainly have dropped with that bonus point try. Now they will have to play for pride and not really a title when they come here next week. But with the injury toll that CR&FC have dealt to Kandy, might be a very interesting game indeed. But suddenly the 5-point game goes to a 12-pointer.
This is where Kandy will become lethal now. They'll unleash the bench knowing that they'll have a 20-point lead. Already you can see warm-ups starting to happen. Dilushka Dange as Kandy Sports Club return the kick of that kickoff. Suddenly you can see the trajectory of the kicks returned by Kandy Sports Club. It's low, flat and far compared to the high ones. And change. Dan Vikramarachi has been taken out. And in comes Nalan Premnath.
Well, I think we're making the calculation a bit too early, Shanak. We're making the calculation 20 minutes too early. CR&FC are still in this game. If they do come out victors, Havelock still have a chance of clinching that title. But of course, the way it stands now, Kandy seem to be the one that will clinch that Mastercard Interclub Rugby League.
Another line out that eventually goes to hand. Ratwata shows and goes, and that's the burst from Tarinder. He just doesn't manage to regather his kick. And Murshid Zubair will now try to find and wriggle his way out of this. You can see just a burst of acceleration from Tarinder Ratwata at close quarters. Tanuja Jayavira carries strongly. And Vinudha Amanet now will have his first touch. Tenuka Nanekkara wants to have nothing to do with that inside his 22 and takes it all the way up to the halfway mark.
Off your screens, Rinesh Silva is on the ground. Looks like he has pulled a hamstring or so.
It's been interesting from Kandy, Dinuk, because they haven't really called on their big guns to do much. Ranjan went to the bench early. Tarinder Ratwata has done his job but hasn't had to do anything too spectacular so far. Nigel Ratwata has played within himself. Srinath Surya Bandara hasn't touched the ball too often. So it's really been the other players, and I say the other players, the non-big names who have really done the job for Kandy today.
Yeah, good signs, isn't it, for the future of Kandy Sports Club, Shanaka? The other players, non-big names, who will soon retire. The next generation, along with Fazil Marija, who will be the next generation coach for Kandy Sports Club. No contest. It should have been a play on. Did Sia stick a hand up? Interesting replay to see. Yeah, the scrum goes to Kandy Sports Club.
Well, interesting call. Didn't really get anyone up there. The last 3 throws from Kandy have been very much to their own line. A couple of them weren't contested. One was, but it wasn't this one.
Well, it's the wind we were talking about that has blown it onto their side. As Silva has it for his brother. They work it across the face of the Kandy defense. It's there for Mutunayaka, another lad from Kandy.
Intricate, but not really going anywhere from Sia. But good to see them trying a bit of a complex move that will give them some confidence. Tanuja Jayavira. Not going to see any stepping from him. He's going to go straight through. And Kandy shooting up there. Nigel Ratpata cutting off the pass for Murshid Zubair, who manages to get himself to the ground just over the halfway mark. Venura Kodagara has been good today. Vinudha Manet now. Tanuja Jayavira again. They need to get the ball beyond him quickly. Amanet keeps going to the left. Lasindu Ishan, and beautifully read that time by Tarinder Ratwata. Knew that Lasindu Ishan was getting the ball and flew up on him. Amanet now with the box kick. And it looks like it might have gone into touch on the full. So not the right angle for him to go for that box kick, Dinuk. This is why he's not starting the game.
Hands on knees in some CR forwards. So need to get the replacements at this pace. And that is probably why Amanet trying to go to the boot, because his runners are not ready. Another change. Dilushka Dange comes in place of Kamindu Pereira.
Not a small lad to bring on. You would have played with Diluksha, you would have been in the juniors, Abid. What's his biggest strength?
Well, he scored a bucket load of tries in that 2017 season. That Trinity played Royal in the final of Vikramarachi. Has been a very, very good ball carrier. Faumi now runs onto it.
Jansen clears for Ratwata, who's now bringing himself into the game a little bit more. Jansen, Ratwata. Premnath. Here's Jansen with the inside ball. Dinal Ekanayaka holds on to it. Kandy's ball retention has been very good today. Malita Vijayasundara. CR still defending with 14 players. Tilina Bandara. Senal Adhikaram is on the floor and doesn't look great there.
We might sound like a broken record, but there have been so many players on the floor, isn't it? There's been a game that has had stoppages that we can't count with the number of fingers that we have. An 80-minute game that probably would go on for about 120 minutes. Wanted to get back home at 6 o'clock. Definitely a dream now.
Hope you've got a few dates in the car and a bottle of water, Abid.
Can supply a bottle of water, definitely. Dates we'll have to check at the Kandy Sports Club, of course.
Well, this game has taken no prisoners. It's been played physically. From the start, they've been going at each other. Some of the collisions not accurate, but the ones that are have made a difference. And Senal Adhikaram, there's absolutely no way he can continue the way he's walking off the ground.
The number of stoppages also shows the physicality in this game, Shanaka and Abid. It's not an easy game, and especially not a weather that this type of fast-paced, highly physical game can be played. Would love to have lights in Kandy at some point. That would be in much cooler conditions. Probably in December, January is where when the club games played, you could play a game in the early 20s.
Wajid Faumi at number 8 and out of the back of the hand from Heshan Jansen to Dinal Ekanayaka, who's come off his wing, and that's an uncharacteristic mistake from the young scrum half. Speak about lights, it'll be lovely to see in this part of the world, Dinuk, but unfortunately for us in the commentary box, your colleagues at the Papare and all our viewers, especially Trinity College, you'll probably be seeing the lights of the Adelaide Oval before that.
Slowly meander our way along from that comment. And it would be great if we would have a replay of the previous one, because I thought Dinal Ekanayaka could have done a bit better to find that man who was coming out the back door, which was Nigel Ratwata. Good option to run hard and straight, which has worked for Kandy so far in that game. You had a burst from Kamindu Pereira early on. Dhanushka Ranjan had a burst as well. And that's curtains for Venura Kodagoda, who has thrown into the line out today. Not a line out that has worked too well. Kavin Srivikum comes in and they win the penalty off the scrum right off that. Kavin Srivikum comes into the front row and they've won a penalty off the scrum, Shanaka.
Yes, it's a tiring Kandy pack. They've been doing a lot of work, and what Fazil Marija and Henry Terrence have asked of this Kandy team is that they don't sacrifice line speed, and it's difficult for big lads to keep going on. And because of the early injuries, this is what we were talking about in the first half, that it could impact the last part of the game.
Yes, especially with the strength of the Kandy bench. Now they don't have that luxury. CR could definitely match now. And they also have some good exciting players to come out at the bench, which they have already used a few.
Well, speaking of tired legs, I've only seen Omalka Gunaratne maybe play the 40 minutes or maybe at max 50 minutes, but he's still on the park. He is a very good player, yes, but he's had to do a lot of carrying in this game.
Injury to Ravin De Silva, of course, meaning that Omalka has to stay on much longer than he would be comfortable with usually. Aryapala goes straight into the tackle of Akil Mohammed, and that's a beautiful rip from Chatara Soisa, and Nigel Ratwatta now hasn't had to do much but gets a beautiful back of the hand step away, and Heshan Jansen, wonderful right-footed step away from the touchline, but just loses the ball. There's been a bit of an obstruction there, and he gets up with a wry smile, and Ishan Kabeko knows it's not going to be a popular call for the Kandy crowd, but he has to make it.
Well, you have to give it to Chatara Soisa, isn't it, for that steal. Just ripped that ball off. Went on his way, did Nigel Ratwatta, had his partner in the halves, Heshan Jansen, a very live wire he is. Off the base, off open ball. That's that steal. It was a good hit initially from Akil Mohammed, but have a look at that. Went in, grabbed it, ripped it right off. This pack of forwards from Kandy have been immense today.
Chanu the Jayavira with the fingernail stuff there. Really important for him to do that. And Dange, who's just come in, was eager to get on the end of that one, but just got in the way of the tackler as well. Samit Vannakulasuriya, who started on the flank for CR in this second round. And another replacement being made by CR. It's like Jahan Veerabangsa comes on for Tanuja Jayavira, whose last contribution was that try-saving tackle on Nigel Ratwatta. Line-out has improved since Vannakulasuriya has come on, and an ankle tap by Nalan Premnath is enough to topple the bustling run of Omalka Gunaratne. Vinudamanet now waits. Murshid Zubair goes high. Rinesh Silva is coming fast, but it's well taken by Dinal Ekanayaka. Good communication with his fullback, and that's a high tackle called by Ravin Alexander to his main referee. The assistant and the referee combining well there.
Yeah, good teamwork so far by the referees. Shankar Bekon and Ravin Alexander, of course, probably the top referees we have in Sri Lanka, arguably the 1 and 2. As Tarinda Ratwatta thumbs this down, just brings outside the 22-meter mark. They will want to seal this game here, Shanaka. Perfect opportunity. And that was actually a very, very good catch by Dinal Ekanayaka, running backwards. And against the wind.
Players just need to get more discipline now, knowing that the high tackle is something that all referees are looking out for. Good line out that time. Ratwatta taking it to the line. Aryapala making the tackle on his opposite number. And here's Srinath Surya Bandara injecting himself into the front court, as it were. Gunaratna, good tackle by Omalka there. Tirina Bandara has had a tireless day. Jansen. Ratwata against the grain. Just brought down in time. Omalka Gunaratna with another key tackle, but this time it's picked up by Kamindu Gaishan. And Tenukanane Akkara will now go off to the races. Off the back of the hand to Rinesh Silva. Had to be done. And the risk not coming off that time, it was a forward pass.
Well, that break from Tharinder Ratwata, he has done that many a times in this jersey for Kandy. But just have a look at that defense. Maybe Tenukanara spotted that gap, but it's that running line that Dinal Ekanayaka comes from. It's that blind spot that happens when you're driving a car as well. There's a blind spot, and that's exactly where Dinal Ekanayaka comes in from. Runs right into Murshid Zubair. He doesn't expect him to be there. As Lasindu Karunatilaka looks on, and we'll try to look to do something off the next phase.
Well, distribution, that's what it's about, isn't it? You've got to look up, see which of your support runners has markers, and that ball should probably have gone straight to Rinesh Silva. And that's where you separate the good distributors from the great, the ones who can find space. Wajid Fahmy, they go blindside. That's easy, does it? Really easily done. Dinal Ekanayaka gets a deserved try. He's worked hard all day. And as soon as they go into the 22, Kandy make it count?
Yeah, creativity at its best. Everyone was hoping that will be a number 8 break to the open side. But look at the shift here from Heshan Jansen. He stayed, he held the line. Lovely pass. And Dinal Ekanayaka had the presence to come around and score right in front of Omalka Gunaratna, who is not a very happy lad.
It's a difficult one to defend, but you've got to communicate. The defenders need to make sure that they only allow the number 8 to get a couple of paces. The scrum half has to go for the second man, and you've got to have your winger staying on the line. It's easier said than done.
But to be fair to CR&FC, that's not the general side that the number 8 does break from. The scrum half is there on that side, but Wajid Fahmy did well enough. And Tharinder Ratwata does better. 39 points to 20 now. And I think it's a done deal now. Kandy have won this game well and truly.
I think it was done with the last try.
Another point there, Shanaka, is the wheel of that scrum made it very easy. And that means the blindside flanker had a few more steps to reach. Very well planned.
Well planned, well executed. It was a subtle thing. And CR should probably have known it was coming as soon as the wheel went around that way. And here's Dange, anxious to make some telling carries, show his coach that he's ready for a start. Srinath Surya Bandara, outstanding core strength from the little man to stand in those tackles. A man who took the Asian 7th Circuit by storm a few years ago. Johnson goes to his boot. It's a tester for Dore, but he passes the test. Shahid Zumri drags him down though. Gunaratna still carrying strongly. He's done well, the veteran, to last this whole game. We've got to discuss our Swiss Tech player of the game, Diruk and Abid. Few candidates today for sure. Well, he's human, isn't he?
You hardly see those things happen from Srinath Surya Bandara. Such a class act. A very good kick there by Amnet. Almost about a good 25 meter. Good hang time. And Surya Bandara. The ball just shifted to his right side, away from him.
No Gamanu Chetia in this lineup, but for me, starting from the front rowers, thought they've been good today, but Tirina Bandar has done a lot of work. Dahan Vikramarachi as well. Vavala Pandita went off early, so he's not in contention. But for me, Tirina Bandar and Vavala Pandita in the pack have been outstanding.
Man who just made the tackle, Tarindu Chaturanga, was very good as well. Generally walks away with that Swiss Tech Player of the Match award in a majority of games for Kandy. Dahan Vikramarachi has been very good. Malithu Vijay Sundara. Okay, there's Wajid Faumi holding on to his head. The Nittawela crowds tell Ishan Kabekon off that. Chaturanga over it, Chaturanga wins it. And he has won that ball back, Shanak, and that has been the story of the game, isn't it?
Yes, Kandy have got turnovers at crucial points in the game. There haven't been many, but when they've come, they've counted. Dore has had to go back and decides against any heroics. He's just put this one into touch. Not a lot that they can do there. Legs have given up now. None of the Kandy outside backs have really shone today. They haven't needed to be fair to them. But the man who has linked them, Heshan Jansen, has put the kicks in, has distributed well, has made the tackles when they've been necessary. And as a result of that, he is our Swiss Tech man of the match, Heshan Jansen. It's really made life miserable for his opposite number, whichever one it was as well. It's really matured into a game-changing player.
Omalka Gunaratna down with some ice on his knee. Much needed rest. Another stoppage in the game. We go into the last couple of minutes of the most look forward to game in Kandy, or probably the most look forward to sports encounter in Kandy after the Rugby. The Kandy CR game.
At 2025, there was something in it. CR had clawed their way back into the game, but Senator Pereira's yellow card turned out to be the turning point of the game. When Kandy had a front rower down and a couple of players off, first choice players off, CR didn't manage to make it capitalize. And now, as soon as Senator Pereira went off, Kandy made sure they scored immediately, went double figures ahead, and then never looked back.
Another change coming up for Kandy Sports Club. In fact, the change has been made. Nigel Ratwata moves out. Asiri Seniviratna comes in at 10.
Big shoes to fill for Asiri, and good to see that Fazil Marija is giving him time in a big game. Ball has gone against the head, and Vinuda Amanet now will try to spin out of the tackle of Jansen. The arriving players take their time, and it's slow ball for CR in the last minute of the game. Nobody seems to want it. It's finally there for Amanet. And here's Senora Pereira back on the pitch, and that's a pretty dead center penalty. Amanet now cutting back infield. Looking for options is Murshid Zubair. Muthunaika. Can Sia finish with a flourish here? And again, it's still in a Bandara who gets over the ball. Beautifully done from the big second rower. And Jahid Zumri's over-enthusiasm is called back. And looks like Nigel Rattata might just knock this into touch.
Well, at the start of this season, one might have thought that the Kandy CR game would have been the most closely fought affair, but Kandy has really stamped their class this season. 19 points ahead of CR&FC. The CR&FC faithful will say all they want to try to make that gap or bridge that gap a bit closer. But it's very evident that Kandy have been the team to beat this season. And going into next week, they already have one hand or maybe even two hands on that league title, Shanaga.
They've been pretty much untouchable all season. Really hurt them, their pride, when they lost a title last year, and they weren't going to do it again. So in the off-season, they have only improved, whereas CR may have descended from the slope a little bit.
Yeah, the commitment that the Kandy boys showed in that off-season was really, really good to see. Fazil Marija, Kapila Silva, Terence Henry, manager. And that's it. Kandy Sports Club beats CR 39 points to 20 and have won the Mastercard League here at Nittawela.
Well, Havelocks will come back up here next week. I will try to spoil the party. But for today, Nittawela is all about the home team. They started off magnificently. They were assisted by some silly errors from CR&FC in the first half. But although they managed to fight their way back into this game, it was the class of Kandy in the end that took them away. The young players showing that they're worthy successors to some of these big names who are on their way out at Nittawela. And while Nigel Rathpatha is doing a little bit of crowd control, you have to say that they control the game far, far better than the young challengers.
Yes, Shanak, absolutely. I think the way Kandy Sports Club managed the two yellow cards period, one against and one for them, was the difference in this game. 39 points to 20. Kandy Sports Club winning this on a Sunday evening. A lovely Sunday evening, I should say, in Kandy. And that's the full time.
Kandy started off the game brilliantly and went into half-time with just a 9-point lead, which they thought might not have been enough. And CR started that second half really well also. Venura Koda got a stopping just short, but Omal Kungunaratne knowing his way over the try line from that distance. Getting there for his second try on either side of the half. Murshid Zubair kicked well, but didn't have as many opportunities as his opposite number. And this is where Kandy turned things around. And Senra Pereira had gone off. Kenula Hettiarachi touching down after he came off the bench. You have to say Kandy's recruitment as well has been superb. Eshan Jansen holding that one up just long enough to send Dinal Ekanaika untouched into the corner.
Well, this was the season that Kandy start their transition from their veterans to the youngsters, and they've done their recruitment really, really well. As you look at the key stats, Kandy Sports Club absolutely dominating CR&FC. No two words about it. 19-point buffer, 39 points to 20, and there was 5 tries, and that bonus point that will count on the points table will really hurt the Havelock Sports Club faithful. Eshan Jansen win the Swiss Tech Man of the Match, Shanaga.
And in the two encounters, Kandy have scored 10 tries. CR&FC have only managed 3. Just shows how good Kandy's defense has been to really upset the 9-10 combinations of CR. And they never really recovered.
Well, I think that man of the match award for Heshant Jansen is not just for this game. It's for that game against CR&FC that he played before as well. Shooting up when it really when their defense really required him to, and putting that X factor and that doubt in that CR&FC backline, which has really helped Kandy to get the ahead of the CR&FC team.
Yes, he certainly has grown into a key part of this Kandy team. And in week 14, the final week of this Mastercard League, we have Police taking on Army. We have Navy taking on the Sri Lions. We have CR taking on Havelocks at Air Force at Longdon Place. And then we have that all-important clash, Havelocks taking on Kandy. And just for pride, Salia Kumara will be shaking his head as he leaves the ground that he played so much rugby at. But he will be back with a job to do next week.
Yeah, the seedings are very important going into the knockouts because the 1-2 will host the knockouts as well.
Yes, they will certainly be looking at the knockouts next week as well, with the Mastercard League already won. It's been a fantastic game. Kandy Sports Club have covered themselves in glory for yet another year. And from Abid Jamil, Dinuk Bhaskaran and myself in the commentary box from Nittawela, it's goodbye for now.
Kamuda macang, prima kotumi, fantamai. Kamuda macang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Matang ya muda matang, 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 matang ya muda matang. Kamuda matang, prima kottumi fanta mai.
Prima kottumi fanta mai.
Prima kottumi, oh my my. Nittawela manadam, made full life, became happening. Real rusty trending, very go hot and spicy, that's a thing.
Prima kottumi fanta mai.
Boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Hot and spicy fun vibe Rugby berkerana. Beat a remake kerana Nittawela. Hada bawala yana gindara fashion kerana. Fun 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 turana kottumi kikki tolena. Prima kottumi fanta mai.
Boss, I got you some homemade milk toffee. Shall I bring it now? You know, no matter what others say, you are really important to us. I have never seen anyone care about the company as much as you do.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Langin ma inna friendship bo my a friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි.
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි. ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි. මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි. ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි. ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ. හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි.
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
Prima kottumi, oh my my. Nittawela manadam, made full life, became happening. Real rusty trending, very go hot and spicy, that's a thing.
Prima kottumi fanta mai.
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Kamuda matang, prima kottumi fanta mai.
Prima kottumi fanta mai. Langin ma inna friendship bo my a friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි.
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි. ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි. මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි. ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි. ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ. හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක් වෙන්නයි.
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්.
Kamuda matang, prima kottumi fanta mai.
Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
ළඟින්ම ඉන්න friendship බොමයි ඒ friendship එක තව සුබ වෙන්නයි
හිතේ ආදරේ අප්ඩේට් වෙන්නයි ඒ ආදර දෙවියම සුබ වෙන්නයි මේ හැම වෙලාවෙම perfect වෙන්නයි ඒ හැම අයටම සුබ දේ වෙන්නයි ලංකාව පුරා සතුට connect වේ හැම සම්බන්ධයක සුබ එක වෙන්නයි
ආවරණයෙන් නොදෙවෙනි එයාටෙල් සුබ සම්බන්ධයක්
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්න නැත වෙන්න හදවත බාවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun තුරන්න කොතුමි කික්කි කොල්ලන්න cream කොතුමි fun තමයි
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll.
ඉස්දින්න ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකික ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to the Papare.
Welcome to the live broadcast from ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.